Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Wednesday, the 11th of December, 2024, the year of a million transactions per second or more. I'm still on my laptop today, so I haven't got the usual opening screen, so we'll jump straight into the music. Let's cue the music.
Down in a small town where the cornfields grow high, there's talk of the future and a man who won't lie. Underneath the big old stars with a country code, there's a revolution brewing that's about to explode. Craig says he's Satoshi like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. From the Genesis block where the story began, he's acclaiming his legacy of digital man. Craig says he's Satoshi like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. From the Genesis block where the story began, he's acclaiming his legacy of digital man.
Oh yeah, there we go. Right, let's crack on with the news today. So, I've got a few articles here by Cointelegraph. First one by Microstrategy says will eventually unravel. Bitcoin bulls should look elsewhere. That's according to Cointelegraph. The next one saying Bitwise predicts 2025 as year for crypto IPO. Kraken Circle to go public, just like Coinbase has done. So they're going to be effectively rug pulling and scamming their customers. And then Roger Ver claims US targets him for Bitcoin advocacy, not taxes. I suspect there is a strong element of truth in that because the government doesn't actually need taxes because they can print fiat currency from nothing. So therefore, they don't need to tax no one. We've got this fantastic new video here from the Cope Report. This is absolutely brilliant. I'll probably put that in the link so that people can get to it. We got a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history. Today was the famous quote about the hornet's nest. WikiLeaks haven't kicked it. And then we'll just simply go through the figures as per usual because they're looking juicy. And then that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it. So MicroStrategy will eventually unravel Bitcoin. Bulls should look elsewhere. Sounds like they're trying to stab Michael Saylor in the back here. MicroStrategy stock premium has benefited from a virtuous cycle in the bull market. It will eventually reverse course. Oh, so I mean, is this a warning sign? You know, are they going to say, look, we told you so because they know what's coming? Because we know they control the market. MicroStrategy's multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin bet has paid off spectacularly. Still, the good times won't last. When cheap financing dries up, MicroStrategy's stock price will wither. Copycats risk similar fates. Great coin maxis should look elsewhere. Oof. That's not like Cointelegraph to be saying that, considering they're part of the cabal that's pumping the coin and promoting BTC Gridcoin. Since 2020, bullish investors have effectively paid MicroStrategy to accumulate BTC. MicroStrategy has minted an attractive Bitcoin yield for shareholders. Bitcoin yield, what a load of crap. Do you get yield from gold? No, you don't. It's ridiculous. For shareholders by issuing richly valued stock and borrowing for almost nothing. MicroStrategy's actions trigger a virtuous cycle, sending MicroStrategy stock, MSTR, even higher. Copycats from drug makers to YouTube competitors are touting similar treasury strategies. Oh my god, this is going to be a one massive shit show. Corporate BTC treasuries are inflation hedges. They don't justify lofty stock premiums. The cycle that sent MicroStrategy shares skyward will eventually reverse course. In 2025, investors should skip MicroStrategy and opt for plain spot BTC exposure instead. Really? Maybe they're getting jealous that Saylor's actually accumulating all this value or accruing value. Saylor's vision, originally a software company, MicroStrategy became a de facto Bitcoin hedge fund in 2020 when founder Michael Saylor started using the company's balance sheet to buy BTC. Since then, MicroStrategy spent almost $23.5 billion buying Gridcoin and now owns more than 400,000 BTC, or around 2% of Gridcoin total supply, according to data from MicroStrategy Tracker. Saylor's bet paid off. As of December the 7th, the data shows that MicroStrategy's Gridcoin treasury is worth over $40 billion, notching unrealized profits of about $16.5 billion. That's a more than 70% return on invested capital. Japers. MicroStrategy stock has done better still. Since 2020, MicroStrategy has gained about 2,500%, outperforming particularly even every sizable public company except Nvidia. This year, it has been as strongest as the 7th of December. MicroStrategy has gained nearly 600% year to date, outpacing Gradecoin's 125% gains. MicroStrategy trades at a $400 per share, clocking a market capitalization exceeding $90 billion. That means MicroStrategy trades at a more than 2x premium to the company's BTC treasury. Don't credit MicroStrategy's legacy software business, which lost $18.5 million in the third quarter. Instead, look to the shareholder value that MicroStrategy has created through its treasury operations, i.e. Ponzi scheming. Its repeated tapping of the capital markets to raise proceeds to fuel the addition to Gridcoin to its sizable holdings. Benchmark stock analysis Mark Palmer said in a November research note. Doubling down. Ooh, this is going to hurt. Investors can't get enough. Since August, exchange-traded funds, ETFs, touted leverage exposure to MicroStrategy bootstrapped more than $4.5 billion in assets under management. On November 29th, Solve, a decentralized finance DeFi protocol, announced plans to launch an on-chain MicroStrategy. Oh my God. Meanwhile, other companies are following MicroStrategy's lead. They include drug maker Hof Pharmaceuticals, artificial intelligence developer Genius Group, and YouTube alternative Rumble. Even software giant Microsoft is interested, and Elon Musk's Tesla already owns nearly $1 billion worth of Gridcoin. Corporate treasuries hold more than $52 billion in Gridcoin as of December 7th, according to BitcoinTreasuries.net. MicroStrategy is doubling down. In August, MicroStrategy committed to a unique performance metric. That's Gridcoin yield, which measures the ratio of Gridcoin holdings to outstanding shares. It sets a BTC per share as a lodestar for corporate performance. In October, MicroStrategy unveiled plans to raise $21 billion in equity and another $21 billion in debt equity, or in debt, to fund a 3-year multi-billion-dollar BTC buying spree dubbed the 21-21 plan. The goal is simple. MicroStrategy aims to increase its Gridcoin yield for each of the next 3 years from 4% to 6%, and then from 6% to 10%, Palmer said. Buying $42 billion worth of Gridcoin is a no-brainer for Saylor. Yeah, shitcoiner, shit for brains. He thinks BTC will hit $13 million by 2045 and considered $3 million a bear case. However, MicroStrategy's approach has had plenty of detractors, Palmer said. To those who have asked why anyone would buy its shares rather than simply buying Gridcoin, management has responded to criticism by pointing to the scoreboard. Palmer said, referring to MicroStrategy's stellar performance since 2022, scores can, however, change. Absolutely. Just looking at something, looking at history, saying, oh, well, because it happened back then, it's going to happen over here, is absolute BS if you don't understand the fundamental principles that caused the historical cycle in the first place, or the political shenanigans behind the scenes. More like, that's what you really got to look at. In November, MicroStrategy raised $3 billion from convertible notes to finance more Gridcoin buying. It was the first big step towards the 21-21 plan. The deal, termed Sparkled, at 0% APR, MicroStrategy effectively borrowed for free. Investors can potentially convert notes to MicroStrategy stock, but only at a fixed price of $672 per share. That's around 70% higher than MicroStrategy's December 7th trading price. There's one catch. If MicroStrategy doesn't hit that price by 1st of June 2028, note holders can demand repayment in cash. The other MicroStrategy notes feature a similar term, constituting at least $2 billion in debt. A cash crunch is particularly inevitable. Oof. If note holders seek redemptions, MicroStrategy can refinance, probably on less favorable terms, or sell Gridcoin. That's if Gridcoin has still got a price by then. The latter would send shockwaves through the cryptocurrency markets. MicroStrategy is the world's largest corporate Gridcoin holder. Either way, MicroStrategy persistent premium to its Gridcoin treasury could evaporate overnight. They know. They're telling you. It's right here. That would bury MicroStrategy's Bitcoin yield narrative. MicroStrategy has dropped to nearly 25% from November 21 highs of roughly $543 per share. If MicroStrategy's premium vanished completely, MicroStrategy would sink below $170 per share. That's assuming Gregcoin's price stays constant. Oh dear. Market downturns could send shares even lower. For most investors, vanilla sport BTC exposure, including ETFs like BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, presents more than enough volatility. If you're a triple maxi Bitcoin bull like Sailor, then by all means bet big on MicroStrategy. More cautious investors should stay away. Oh, and this is Alex O'Donnell is a senior writer for Cointelegraph. He previously founded DeFi developer Umami Labs and worked for 7 years as a financial journalist at Reuters, where he covered M&A and IPOs. That's initial public offerings. He is also the crypto growth lead at startup accelerator Expert Dojo. Is that another copycat of Block Dojo? Just like Women of Web3 was the same as Women of BSV? Dear, honestly, copycats all round. But that's actually still quite an entertaining article, actually. Let's have a look at this one then. So Bitwise predicts 2025 as a year for crypto IPO. Kraken circle to go public. Bitwise predicts that in 2025, Gregcoin could hit $500,000. Bullshit. Even I'm saying bullshit on that one. Coinbase will enter the Standard & Poor's 500, and AI agents will drive the next meme coin mania. Meme coin mania. What a load. It should be shitcoin mania, which is what it is, meme coin mania. Give me a break. Crypto exchange traded funds ETFs issuer Bitwise predicts that at least 5 crypto unicorns will go public in 2025, including stablecoin issuer Circle and crypto exchange Kraken. So-called crypto bank, Anchorage Digital, analytics firm Chainalysis, and crypto exchange Figure are the other 3 firms expected to launch initial public offerings next year. Bitwise investment chief Matt Haugen and research head Ryan Rasumus wrote in a 10 crypto predictions for 2025 report on December 10th. And again, I mean, all these companies that have just been mentioned here are influenced by Digital Currency Group. They've got the clause in everything. Growing investor demand, institutional adoption, and a favorable macro environment and a warmer political environment were the main catalyst that led to the pair to name 2025 as the year of crypto IPO. Oh, there you go. Circle, Figure, Kraken, Anchor Digital, Chainalysis. Here are some of the other predictions that Bitwise Hogan and Russ Musson said for next year. BTC, ETH, and Sol to hit new highs. Gregcoin tops gold in 2029. Hogan and Rasmussen forecast that Gregcoin will hit $200,000 or more by the end of 2025, and said it could surpass gold's current $18 trillion market cap by 2029. Gregcoin may even reach $500,000 or more next year. I mean, it just depends how much tether they print and whether they can keep printing it. If the United States follows through on Senator Cynthia Lummis's pitch for a strategic Gregcoin reserve that buys 1 million or more Gregcoin over 5 years. I mean, we know that the cabal are into this, so literally they're just simply using it to try and muster more investment. They're trying to make it too big to fail, basically, because otherwise, if it did fail, and literally so many people were losing the shirt on their back, and they were pointing fingers at Blockstream and Greg Maxwell for doing this, then they're going to need. I think this is heading towards the government bailing all the BTC holders out, potentially. This is what it sounds like to me. Gregcoin could eclipse gold even without a US Gregcoin reserve, though it would fast-track the process, the duo said. Meanwhile, Bitwise expects Ether to bounce back in 2025 and hit a high of $7,000. I wonder why they would say that. Fueled by growing activity on Ethereum Layer 2s, more spot Ether ETF flows, and massive growth in stablecoins and tokenized projects. Hogan and Rasmussen anticipate serious projects launching on Solana, oh my god, and pushing its price to $750, a 250% increase from its current $215. It's all shitcoining. The whole space is about shitcoining. Coinbase to be most valuable brokerage under S&P 500. MicroStrategy joins NASDAQ 100. The pair predicted Coinbase shares would more than double to $700 and overtake Charles Schwab as the most valued brokerage platform in 2025, earning it a place in the S&P 500. The reason Coinbase is more than just a brokerage, really. The Bitwise duo said, predicting that Coinbase revenues from its stablecoin staking, again staking or Ponzi scheming, and custody services would increase substantially, in addition to the revenue from its Ethereum Layer 2 base. Coinbase enters the S&P 500 and MicroStrategy raising to the Nasdaq 100 index may happen when the two indexes next rebalance, they said. With $10 trillion worth of assets tracked to the S&P 500, fund managers would have to buy around $15 billion in Coinbase shares, while MicroStrategy into the Nasdaq 100 would have a smaller but still significant impact on its share price, Bitwise said. I don't know if I can be bothered reading all of this. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of that. It's 15 minutes gone already. But shit for brains and shit coiners be shit coining. Good grief. That is literally all that's going on here. It's unbelievable. And I watched the interview that Roger Ver did with Tucker Carlson. I think I watched it early this morning. It had 165,000 views on it so far. So it says here, Roger Ver claims US targets him for Bitcoin advocacy, not taxes. Roger Ver, also known as Bitcoin Jesus, contests US, that's Department of Justice tax evasion charges, alleging political retaliation over his crypto advocacy. Yeah, I can see that. Roger Ver, widely known as Bitcoin Jesus for his early promotion of cryptocurrency, is contesting charges made against him by the United States Department of Justice. Ver, who renounced his US citizenship in 2014, was arrested in Spain. What's Spain doing arresting him? And tax is not a criminal. Tax is a contractual agreement. There is no victim involved in there if you don't pay your tax. And the tax is all paid in securities fraud anyway. So it's pretty outrageous what they're doing. Scary stuff, really. Ver, who renounced his citizenship in 2014, was arrested in Spain in April. US authorities are seeking his extradition on charges including tax evasion, mail fraud, and filing false tax returns. Dear, oh dear. Prosecutors claim Ver undervalued his assets and failed to report ownership of around 131,000 Gregcoin. He denied the allegations in an interview with Tucker Carlson on December 10th. That was just yesterday. He said, I wasn't an American citizen or living in the US at the time these claims were made, Ver said. He accused the US government of being angry, not about taxes, but about his lack of obedience. I think he's spot on there, really. Legal history, according to the DOJ, Ver failed to report significant capital gains of Gregcoin sales and underreported the value of two companies when he renounced his US citizenship in 2014. Prosecutors allege Ver concealed 131,000 Gregcoin worth nearly $240 million at the time of sale in 2017, leading to a $48 million tax shortfall. I think he owed that to an exchange, actually, $48 million. I remember that. Ver's defense argues that the allegations are outdated and stem from ambiguous cryptocurrency tax laws. Well, yeah, they can't. They're not allowed to tax it because it's not. They're like just the same as they can't tax anybody who deals in Swiss francs. They can't tax anybody who deals in British pound sterling. They can only tax people who deal in US dollar, and Bitcoin is not US dollar. Just because it's valued in US dollar, it's the comparable amount. So yeah, it's one world government bullshit, really. His legal team also contends that the US prosecutors misused confidential communications and violated legal protections. Again, I mean, that's what they did against Ross Ulbricht as well. Political retaliation and all that. Yeah, tax evasion, dismissal, we know it's all bullshit. But yeah, I'm with Roger on that one. Even though in the interview with Tucker Carlson said to him, who is Satoshi? And he literally barefaced lie said, I don't know, and shut his eyes. And we all know that's the sign of a complete and utter liar, trying to be virtuous. Or he's lying through his teeth. He knows exactly who Satoshi Nakamoto is, as do we. It's Craig Stephen Wright. So just going to the Cope report here. This is an... And it comes under the handle of What Bitcoin Did X.
This is one of
of the things Bitcoin has done. It has removed that power. It will remove that power globally.
Awesome, loving that. I well recommend looking at that. It's got 2,211 views so far. A little bit of Bitcoin history. So in the 11th of December 2009, there was a quote here from Satoshi Nakamoto when he said, "That's true with the with the send to IP option. You are sending to whoever answers that IP. Sending to a Bitcoin address doesn't have that problem. The plan is to implement an IP plus Bitcoin address option that would have the benefits of both. It would still use a different address for each transaction, but the receiver would sign the one-time use address with the given a Bitcoin address to prove it belongs to the intended receiver." Awesome little bit of golden nuggets of information about how Bitcoin operates there. 11th of December 2009. And 11th of December 2010, he said, "It would have been nice to get this attention in any other context. WikiLeaks has kicked the hornet's nest and the swarm is heading towards us." Wow. And that was in the sort of Bitcoin Talk, read the PC World article on Bitcoin. That looks like it was the original post. Let's have a look at this. It would have been nice to get this attention in any other context. So they're talking the PC World. Do we have a link to that article? I might have to get that one. So the PC World article on Bitcoin. That's awesome. The 11th of December 2020, we got PMAC making another gaffe. Another gaffe. You know, I'm quite fond of his gaffes because they just crack me up because they're so ridiculous. So PMAC wrote in a tweet regarding his bank closing his accounts. He says, "I can't say as I lied about I lied about what the funds are for," and he actually put this out on social media, admitting that he lied about what the funds were for, which is why the bank closed his account. I mean, who puts that shit on social media unless you're an absolute F-wit? Like, honestly. I took out a £46,000 loan today at 7.9% APR. I bought 2.55 Gregcoin. By 2026, I will have to pay back £57,886. So he's smashed that, but has he actually done it? Has he paid it back? Or is he just going to keep holding, even though each coin has gone up to like $100,000 per coin? So that's like, what, $250,000? Oh, jeepers. He's done all right there. Which bank? They can't say as I lied about what the funds are for. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, let's move on to some of these charts then. So we've got Gregcoin, $100,000, B Crash, 549, Fish Price Cash, who cares? And we've got Bitcoin at just $68. And look at this, hash rate and network nodes are vanity, transactions and block size are sanity. That's it. You don't need nodes or hash rate if you haven't got any block size or transactions, because it means no one is using the network. So BTC is a bullshit chain. There is no one using it. It's ridiculous. Can't quite see the block sizes there. Oh. Yeah, check this one out. So we've got the Bitcoin Core. So version 22. B Crash version 27. Fish Price Cash, who gives a monkeys? But Bitcoin, we're still on version 0.1. Still on version 1. The original protocol hasn't changed. Look at that. Look at that. Which one's Bitcoin? Well, it's the first one that is still Bitcoin. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hash rate, yeah. All right, let's have a look at all these. It's currently 345,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin and Gregcoin. Mining Bitcoin at a 7.3% comparable loss. Beautiful charts, these ones. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network, transactions by network, transactions per block by network. Fees USD, sub-cent fees. Fees Satoshis on a log curve, absolutely smashing it. It looked like 1 Satoshi fees about that, or just above 1 Satoshi. Crazy. Bitcoin fee to daily block reward ratio. Look at that. That's still looking really juicy. That's looking superb. The only graph you really need to know as to what's going to happen in the future, it's strictly necessary that the longest chain is always considered the valid one. Satoshi's words himself. Gregcoin hash rate, 24 hours, 36% by Foundry USA Pool, which is a MasterCard. Bcrash hash rate, Binance with 26% on there, other mining pools 22. Fisher Price Cash, what a joke. And then we've got Bitcoin. Let's see if we can just see this. There we go. Coup 40%, Tal 28, QD Link 25, Gorilla Pool 5.8. Loving that, great stuff. Let's have a look at the transactions on the network. This is the exciting one. Look at that. So Bitcoin was 64,823,169 transactions over the last 24 hours. Good grief. Representing 95%, or 95.7. So that literally means we've got 4.3% of the pie chart to spread over the 36,000 coins on the market. How crazy is that? So BINFO chart saying 64 million. Yep, that's confirmed by Watson Chain. 64,483,479 transactions. Beautiful. Let's have a look at the Tether weather then, just quickly, see what shenanigans are going on today. Let's have a look at the market cap. Oh, they've pumped more in. So where's that gone? 138.4 to 138.7. Yeah, 400 million in the market today again. Total what's that? Yeah, total market cap $141 billion. Absolutely insane. Let's have a look at the overall market then. Let's see where we are today. $3.6 trillion market. $3.6 trillion worth of shite. Great coin, 1.998 trillion, so $2 trillion on the market cap there, with the price being $100,934 for one bit of Greg coin. Look, they pumped it up a little bit today. I wonder what's going on. Maybe they just want to being threatened by something. Probably BSV, the mining one. I mean, look at that. 95% of the transactions on the market, and yet it's buried probably down at what number, like 80 something or other? Is it 83? 87 now. Look at that. Down at 87. Absolutely insane. Market cap just $1.3 billion. Oh, see, look at that. Shame on my laptop because I can't compare the movements in the price. But if we were back on Orange Gateway or DXS app, we'd be able to see which one moved first, because that is the telling indicator. I wonder if BSV might be following B Crash after Roger Ver's interview with Tucker Carlson. Who knows? But time will tell. So volume on Gate.io, biggest volume of BSV, then OKX, Z Dixon, and CoinDCX. Let's have a look at liquidity. Changely hit BTC. Is that Hotcoin Global? Never heard of that one. OKX again. Interesting. Right, there we go. That is a 28-minute show. So we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.